All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pigskin Mafia podcast. Veterans Day special. And let me tell you, I am super pumped about this because, let me turn that down a little bit. I'm also playing college football 25 live on the podcast, which soon we're going to start doing that on Twitch, which is going to be fucking cool. I can't wait for me and J-Mo to set that up. And yes, I'm not wearing a hat today because I just took a shower. I got done with work. I just got off work. So, yeah, you can see my shiny 6 dome, so shush. Anywho, we got a lot to talk about today here on TJ's Talk Box. First we have Deebo Samuel wearing a skirt? Wearing a skirt before the game? Is this what we've come to in today's society? That we're okay with men wearing skirts? Or is it even a skirt? I have a possible theory on what it is. It could be shorts, it could be a skirt, but I think it's something different. Slander towards Quinn Ewers has to stop, which I'll go over that later tonight. The recap of college football week 11. What a crazy weekend it was for college football. Down goes Miami. Down goes Georgia. Colorado stays alive. Clemson survives Virginia Tech. Texas wallops the Gators. Indiana wins 20-15. Army still stays unbeaten against North Texas. And Oklahoma has now officially became Choklahoma. But what do I know? LSU, more like Ellis Poo. And many, many, many more. I gotta tell you. It has been a crazy weekend. And my dog is sniffing me. Misses me. I just fed her. And good question, Stu. Not going to answer it. Bill, go over there. Because this is a football podcast, not a TikTok. But let me tell you guys something. We live in a crazy, crazy world. Okay? Where it is insane in America that it is okay for a male to look like a female. It is okay for males to use the same bathrooms as females. It is okay for natural born males to box women, to swim against women, to do anything against women in sports. Well, Deebo Samuel, this is our opener, by the way. He comes in with leather jacket, which I'm cool with leather jackets. Comes in with shades. Okay, this is getting interesting. Trying to get the Terminator look. And then down below, what is he wearing? What the fuck is he wearing? Is he wearing a skirt? Is he wearing... Okay, you better start donating because I'm about to go on a tirade. And don't lie to me about that. I'm about to go on a tirade about this. Is he wearing a skirt? Is he wearing a dress? What is he wearing? What in the fuck is Deebo Samuel wearing? And go the fuck home, stupid wind barriers. Go find another fucking show like this. Anyway, Deebo Samuel, in my opinion, I'll say whatever the fuck I want. Deebo Samuel, to me, was wearing a mini dress. He was wearing those little mini dresses that women wear. And You can't tell me this guy ain't gay. You can't tell me this guy is not feminine. Oh, but his girl's a baddie. This, that. Stop it. Stop it. That dude is so feminine. And then later in the game, he chokes his long snapper who voted for Kamala Harris. You can't tell. Bill, stop. Go over there. Go over there. Lay down. You can't. Roblox player, you're a nobody. Shut your ass up. You cannot tell me that Deebo Samuel is a closet gay. Oh man. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And then chokes his long snapper. It is funny. Actually, I do. You dumbass. I love these fucking nobodies that just pop up in here and start talking shit. Hey, how come you don't have a profile picture that actually shows your face? How about that? Just another fucking nobody. Let me guess, you voted for Kamala too? You fucking clown? Oh man. I just got out of the shower, homie. After I banged your mother, by the way. Oh, anyways, gotta move on. Gotta move on. Putting your ass in timeout for 24 hours. Bye! Let me tell you. 86,000 seconds. Or 86,000 seconds. Just because you want to be a fucking nobody clown. And try to ruin my stream. Wow. Because you don't like what I say. Well, guess what? I don't care. I'm going to tell you guys right now. I am in a mood right now. I am ready to go at it with you guys about this topic. Deebo Samuel wearing a mini skirt dress, whatever you want to call it. It is feminine. It is weak. It is soft. It is what has been happening in America for the last 4 years. America's had enough. America's had enough of this shit. And honestly, true gays don't even wear that type of shit. It ain't that big of a deal, are you kidding me? You must wear dresses too, homie. Oh, man. You wear lipstick. It's okay. It's 2024. I don't mind it. I just think that it's feminine, that's all. But go ahead. Say it's not that big of a deal. Say it's not. It's a part of a French attire. Look, I don't give a fuck. We live in America. Wear American shit. Okay? Stop trying to be French. If you want to be French, get out of the fucking country then. How about that? Deal? Deal. Bye. And look, I could care less. Honestly. I could care less. Cool! You just gave me views anyway, you dumb fuck. sensitive ass. Get out of my stream. God damn. A lot of you guys are so sensitive nowadays. And it's my generation's fault. I'm going to put that out there. Actually, no, I'll go even further. It's the generation that raised our generation's fault. I like how someone comments but doesn't comment on the stream. And that's fine. That's fine. That just shows me how much of a coward you really are. But anyway, moving on. We're going to talk about this subject too. The Quinn Ewers slander has to stop now. Why are there people saying that Quinn Ewers is overrated when he had one horrible game? Actually, one horrible half, and cleaned it up in the second half. And you don't even know what happened in that game. You just say he's overrated. You say he's a horrible passer. Well, let me tell you something. It all starts from the front line. The O-line hasn't been doing that well, first of all. They actually picked it up against Florida. They looked great against Florida. That first drive was awful. Second drive, smooth as butter. And I saw this TikTok of this dude just being a fucking weirdo. And not only being a weirdo, he's sitting there getting all excited saying, Quinn Ewers is the most overrated quarterback in college football. You know who's overrated? Carson Beck. You know who's overrated? Garrett Nussmeier. You know who's overrated that I thought was going to be good? Miller Moss. You know who else is overrated? Cam Ward. Shedeur Sanders. You know what? I will say this. College football quarterbacks right now are at an all-time low. Mediocrity is the new excellence. We would much rather prefer a 7-on-7 quarterback than a true traditional quarterback. I don't get it. We would much rather have fantasy points than wanting our team to win. We'd much rather have rivals on our fantasy teams than actually give a fuck about our team. It's ridiculous. And Chris, I'm calm. I truly am calm. I am actually mellow right now because it is Veterans Day and I am pumped. So, to all my brothers and sisters that have served with me, beside me, before me, after me, happy Veterans Day to you guys. I love y'all very much. And to the people that are serving right now, God bless y'all. Y'all are the backbone of this country. And make it home safe. I didn't say above and below. I said before and after. Learn how to fucking listen. Anyway, we're going to recap college football week 11 first and then NFL week 10, which honestly, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I have no desire. No, why would I say above and below me? That's disrespectful at all levels. Why would I say above or below me? If you're talking about rank stature, that's stupid. If you're talking about performance-wise, that's stupid. I would never say above or below me, Chris. Come on now. But anyway, week 11 of college football, we had Miami go down, we had Georgia go down. Georgia looked horrific against Ole Miss. I mean, and Ole Miss is a hit or miss team. And Lane Kiffin usually doesn't win games like this either. but then he'll lose to Kentucky. And get this motherfucker out of here. God, I'm kicking motherfuckers out left and right. Putting that ass on 24-hour timeout. How about that, motherfucker? You clowns are crazy today. I don't know what's going on with all the haters all of a sudden. But I love it. Bring it on. Anyway, as I was rudely interrupted, Miami goes down against Georgia Tech. It seems like Georgia Tech is Miami's kryptonite. Mario Cristobal can't seem to figure out how to beat Haynes King and Georgia Tech. And listen, Cam Ward struggled bad in that game against Georgia Tech. And a lot of it has to do with the O-line, but he holds on to the ball too long. But Quinn Ewers is overrated. Oh, man. Miami was due for a loss. Like I said, me and J-Mo got that wrong, though. But I did say that Miami was due for a loss since the Cal game. Or no, since the Virginia Tech game. But anyway, Florida versus Texas. Me and J-Mo had Texas. And Texas whooped that motherfucking Gator ass. Man, Texas looked good out there. There was one bad drive, and they absolutely took it to the fucking Gators. I was so fucking pleased as a Longhorn fan. And J-Mo's here. The producer is here. And J-Mo, let me tell you, there are some crazy motherfuckers in the chat right now that I've already put on timeout. 2 of them already. 2! And it's Veterans Day. It's Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to you, J-Mo. He served with me in NAS Jacksonville, as you all know and love. The producer. I mean... yeah. Shout out to Destiny 2 and shout out to all the service members today. But J-Mo, let me tell you, you beat me in predictions this week. Because I took a chance on LSU. I took a chance on Texas Tech. And I took a chance on Georgia. Georgia got their asses whipped. Yeah, you're on a roll, bud. You're 6-4. By the way, 6-4 for this week. For me, I went 5-5. So you won this week. But I've been shitty in the last couple of weeks too, as far as predictions. And also, got to give it to you. Give it to your Steelers, which we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, Georgia looked fucking awful in that game. Carson Beck is the worst fucking college quarterback I've seen this year. I regret saying that he was a top 2 quarterback. Now he's a fucking bottom 1 quarterback. He is the fucking trash that sticks underneath the trash can. He is that fucking bad. Yeah, you called it all right, but you didn't call the spread. 28-10. 28 fucking 10. And then they were down 22-10, right? And here's Carson Beck. Like, what the fuck, Carson? I hope Kirby fucking benches him for his own good. Because he's had 12 interceptions in the last 6 fucking games and 10 touchdowns. 12 interceptions, 10 passing touchdowns. Think about that. He is cancerous. Put Gunnar Stockton in. Put Rashada in. I don't give a fuck who you put in. Because Carson Beck has to be the worst fucking college quarterback I've seen this year. Okay? Then we move on to Indiana, who is a phantom undefeated team. First time they went 2-0 in their program history. But guess what? Guess what? They're due for a loss. I'm telling you, Indiana is due for a loss here. They are just like Miami. They're just like BYU. Due for a loss. There's no true number one this season. And honestly, the Big Ten is overrated. Just wait. Indiana's going to drop to, I don't know, someone that's really coming up on their schedule by the name of The Ohio State. I'm calling it right now that Ohio State is going to fucking beat their ass. And I'll go ahead and, they're not playing this week, but they're playing next week. And I'm calling it right now. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be 49-7. Indiana loses and gets proven that they are a phantom undefeated team. A phantom football team that doesn't deserve to be in the college football playoff. Now, if they beat Ohio State, then I'll sing another tune. Then we got Army versus North Texas. I knew North Texas would give them a little bit of trouble. Just a little bit of trouble. But Army's offense is just too much for North Texas. And also, their defense is too much for North Texas as well, as they win 21-3. Go Army. I hate to say it, but go Army. Because I am a Navy sailor, so is JMO. But got to give it to the Black Knights. They're kicking ass right now. And taking names, so. And, excuse me. Navy's got a big game coming up against Tulane this week, which me and JMO will predict that game. Clemson versus Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech might be better than we thought, or Clemson is declining. I'm telling you right now, the ACC is so bad right now that it's SMU's fucking conference. I'm telling you this right now. The ACC is fucking horrendous. That it is SMU's ball game. It is in their fucking hands. Can't wait to take a deep dive on SMU for the rest of the season. Colorado gets stunned in the first half by Texas Tech, but then climbs their way back and beats them 41-27. Holy fuck. It made me change my mind about certain things that I had to think about. Maybe Colorado is that damn good in a mediocre conference. Just think about it for a second, folks. Who are the top teams right now? BYU, Colorado. Okay? What was Colorado last season? 4-8. And who did they lose to? They lost to Nebraska, who is shitty right now. Probably going to lose to USC. And then they lost to a Kansas State team that got fucking sideswiped by a fucking BYU team that's a phantom undefeated. That would get slaughtered by either a Big Ten opponent or a SEC opponent. I'm just going to say it right now. The SEC and Big Ten are the only two conferences that matter in college football. The only reason why Colorado is in consideration for college football playoff is if they win out and win the Big 12 and they get into the playoff. And it would be marketable because of the Sanders name. It'd be marketable because Coach Prime's there. Now, I'm not saying Colorado's bad or anything. I think they're a good football team. I just don't think that they can handle the playoff. A good matchup for them would be Miami. A bad matchup would be Alabama, Texas, Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon. SMU would be a bad matchup. And when I say bad matchups, I'm saying they would lose horribly. They would lose horribly to these teams. Why? Because they're undisciplined. They haven't faced real defenses. They haven't faced great defenses, by the way. They haven't faced great offenses. Like, who has Colorado actually beaten? Let me ask you folks that. Who in the fuck has Colorado beaten? I'll sit here and wait until the fucking live stream cuts me out. But Colorado gets it done, and I'm impressed that they beat Texas Tech. They persevered in the second half and beat Texas Tech 41-27. And J-Mo's not happy about it either, so. Because J-Mo had Texas Tech winning 38-21, but Tech came out with a vengeance in the first half and then just let the worm off the hook, you know. It just wasn't happening. But I tell you what, South Carolina is a team that I would not want to play right now. South Carolina absolutely decimated Vanderbilt. Dominated in all assets of the game. South Carolina looks different. I think that Oklahoma win really showed how really good they are. And then the A&M game showed how they can embarrass an opponent. And then this game against Vanderbilt, how they can decimate an opponent and crush their spirit. Vanderbilt is usually the bottom feeder of the SEC. They gave Texas a fight. They beat Alabama. So Vanderbilt has a lot of expectations after this. But then here comes South Carolina. After losing to LSU, struggling a couple games, and now they're on a 3-game win streak against Oklahoma, beat the hell out of A&M, and now they go into Nashville and absolutely put a chokehold on Vanderbilt, the Commodores. I guess Diego Pavia ain't suing the fucking NCAA anymore. Sorry, bud. You need to go bag groceries. Now this game. Our game of the week was Alabama at LSU. Oh boy. Was I ever wrong about this game. J-Mo had it right, but I'm pretty sure he didn't expect this. 41-13 as fans were leaving the stadium, as Jalen Milroe dominated that LSU defense. You know, after I predicted, I was watching a show called the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty on Saturday morning. And let me tell you, they brought up a very interesting point that I forgot about. LSU cannot defend a running quarterback. LSU cannot defend a running quarterback. I totally forgot that they struggled bad against Marcel Reed and Garrett Nussmeier threw 3 interceptions. I wrote it off. I wrote it off as it's one of those second halves where they used all their energy. No. What happened in that A&M game is truly LSU. More like LS poo. They are absolute poo-poo, folks. I'm sorry to tell you this, but LSU, I love your fan base. I have a dear friend of mine, actually a couple dear friends of mine that are really big LSU Tiger fans. But that was the most disgraceful LSU performance I had ever seen. You had it in the bag. You had College Game Day. You had Mike the Tiger come back. You had the governor in your stadium in Death Valley. You had the stadium packed. It was your night, and you blew it. LSU, you blew that shit. Alabama, Kalen DeBoer, 3 claps for you. Let me tell you, Kalen DeBoer has possibly the most dangerous team in college football right now. And yes, he called all the haters out. He called me out, basically. That's how I'm taking this. He called me out. He didn't really call me out, but I'm just saying. He called me out because I said they weren't going to win against LSU in Death Valley. Because I remembered the 2022 season when LSU and Alabama were in the same situation. However, he brought up a good point. He said, everybody tried to write us off after losing to Vanderbilt and Tennessee. Everybody clowned us, said that we're not playoff worthy. And guess what? They absolutely decimated their opponent. They absolutely embarrassed LSU. They embarrassed Brian Kelly's stupid ass. They didn't allow a touchdown until it was garbage time, folks. LSU, more like LS poo. I am astounded by the way Alabama went in there and absolutely destroyed the foundation of Death Valley. Alabama absolutely decimated and literally took a shit on LSU. Call them LS Poo in the chat, please. Hashtag LS Poo. Because that's what they looked like out there. But good for J-Mo. He picked Bama. He stuck with Bama. He was confident in Bama. And by God, they proved him right. And I got to give my boy kudos. Shout out to J-Mo, by the way. Now, final game. This was a Twitter rivalry that's been brewing for the last couple of years now. Missouri, Oklahoma. Now, this is an old Big 8 rivalry. A lot of people don't know about the Big 8 conference. Big 8 consisted of Colorado, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Iowa State, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and Nebraska. The Big 8 conference, that's a lot of fucking championships right there. Nebraska, Oklahoma, add in Colorado, add in Missouri didn't win one, Kansas didn't win one, Kansas State didn't win one. Oklahoma State won one in 1945, but I think they were independent. But I would have to check back on that. But anyway, a lot of rich history behind this rivalry. They both hate each other. The fan bases hate each other. And it was a boring first 3 quarters until the fourth quarter. It started lighting up fireworks. At one point, Oklahoma had the lead. And then Missouri scores. And all Jackson Arnold had to do was drive down the field. That's all you had to do, folks. But what happened? Here's Jackson Arnold. He gets the ball. He does his 3-step drop, rolls out, and then a defender strip sacks him. And guess what? The ball falls into the hands of a Missouri defender. Scoop and score. And then, this is where it gets funny for me, because I've been waiting for this moment for my entire life. The moment where Choklahoma arrived. The moment where Oklahoma's downfall begins. They do a schoolyard bullshit play where they weren't getting in. I'm just gonna keep it real. They were not getting in. Jackson Arnold hands it off to or throws it to his tight end, and then his tight end couldn't find anybody. So what does he do? Instead of throwing it across that way or these ways or whatever, and he's near the sideline, by the way. Oklahoma is cheeks. I love that. The gaming rhino. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome. But anyway, so the tight end, instead of throwing it across this way on the field, instead of trying to figure out a way to give the ball to his teammates, what does he do? He throws it in the fucking sideline. He throws it in the sideline. What a fucking dipshit. What a slapdick, right? And that was the end of the game. Missouri won. And I got to be honest. This was a mediocre game at best. It didn't matter who won or who lost. It was a fucking disastrous. You could show that. Come on, YouTube. But anyways, I just showed your comment, by the way, Gaming Rhino, so you deserve it. Oklahoma's QB makes Helen Keller look like she's got 2020. Oh my god. Yeah, Jackson Arnold. I'm telling you what, Oklahoma's going to find a quarterback in the transfer portal. Yeah, honestly, I think Lincoln Riley left at the right time to the wrong fucking place. And honestly, Lincoln Riley is an overrated coach with too much talent. But I've been waiting for this moment now, because here's why. Oklahoma might not make it to a bowl game for the first time since God knows when. All my life, I have seen nothing but Oklahoma make it to the New Year's Six Bowls, a national championship, a time or two. And I don't know. I just don't know, man. What Oklahoma. Yeah, UNLV in a bowl game before OU. Fucking Tulsa might make it to a bowl game before OU does this season. I don't even know what Tulsa's record is right now. But the state of Oklahoma itself, the state of Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. What in the fuck is going on with Oklahoma? Yeah, I don't. Oh, Delmar. Go Vikings. Shout out to the Delmar Vikings, by the way. The fucking Coast Guard Community College would make it before Oklahoma. Anyway, I know I'm just talking some bullshit about Oklahoma, but on a serious note, they're on the grasp of not making it to a bowl game. And their two opponents, Alabama, and I know I shit on them earlier. but LSU. That is not fucking easy. They're 5-5 right now. I don't know if they're gonna fire Brent Venables yet. They already got rid of their fucking OC. Yeah, I bet you Ingleside makes it to a bowl game before OU does. Oh, yeah. Kennesaw State. We're going to have a better time watching paint dry than watching Oklahoma's offense. I am not kidding. The Dallas Cowboys are way more entertaining to watch than the fucking Oklahoma Sooners this season. Oh, by the way, where's those Oklahoma Sooners that were talking shit before this season? Saying that Texas was overrated? Yeah, I know. The Cowboys are not much more entertaining, but they're way more entertaining than the Oklahoma Sooners. Explain that one to me. Which, that's a perfect segue to our Week 10 recap. Which, honestly, I went 2-2, J-Mo. And I almost got it right. It is a rough narrative. And happy Veterans Day, whack Donald Nunn. How about that? No, Oklahoma is more like... Yeah, Oklahoma is more like a plank that is dry rotting. That's what Oklahoma's at right now. And then they got fucking Skeletor as a head coach. Have you seen that man? That man needs fucking blood or something because he looks like a fucking dried up raisin. He looks like a dried up fucking vampire. I'm not even kidding. Like, at some point that motherfucker needs a goddamn steak or something. Oh, God, that's fucking awful. Why don't you say that, JMO? Now I'm going to fucking have nightmares about that. Anyway, so yeah, JMO. You started off 2-0. And you went 3-1. Oh, I didn't mean to put an X on there. You went 3-1, J-Mo. Dude, you did great this week. 3 claps for J-Mo. And I went 2-2 in NFL. That Broncos and Chiefs game went down to the wire. Yes, you are a goat. That beard proves it. You have the best beard in all of college football podcasts. You still have PTSD from the Oregon-Ohio State game. Okay, before we move on to NFL, I just want to say this. There is no clear-cut true number 1 football team in all of college sport, or all of college football. Yeah, best beard in all of streaming. There's no true clear-cut number 1 in college football. And let me explain something. Every team has a weakness. Oh, you're a Buckeyes fan, Rhino? Well, I'm not a fan of Will Howard. I'm sorry. But anyway, I do love y'all's run game, though. Y'all's run game is pretty cold. Quinshon Judkins and Trey Henderson, I think that's his name. I don't fucking know. I get names mixed up all the time. Yeah, Will Howard's shitty. I've seen him play at Kansas State. He's fucking awful. He's about as fucking equal as Carson Beck. Just keeping it real with you. But yeah, there's no true clear cut number one, in my opinion. I genuinely think that every fucking team right now is equally matched. Oh, don't get me started with Kyle McCord. He was fucking horrendous. Yeah, CJ Stroud would have won a national championship this year. He would have won a national championship last year. I'm just gonna put that out there. CJ Stroud is a bad motherfucker, which we'll get to him here in a little bit. But one more thing about college football, like there's no clear cut number one in the regular season anyway. Yeah, that was one of the best games I've seen in the college football playoff. Every team could beat any other team in the top. I don't know, except for BYU. I think Notre Dame's good enough to beat anybody. I think Texas is good enough to beat anybody. I think Alabama's good enough to beat anybody. I think Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, anybody could beat anybody in my opinion. Yes, I agree with that, Gaming Rhino. I absolutely agree with that. I think BYU and Indiana are overhyped and way out of their element. They're good teams, great coaches. I love Kalani Sitake, and yeah, I just said it a while ago. Like I said, Indiana's going to lose 49-7 against Ohio State. JMO, jot that down because that's going to be on the next prediction. Not this prediction, but the next one after that. Really? So you graduated with Noah Fafita, Tataroa McMillan, and Mason Graham. Wow, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, I think Tennessee's better than... Okay, hear me out. I think Tennessee could beat Ole Miss. And... Johnny, get down. J-Mo, I love him. But yeah, I think Ohio State should just stick to the fucking run game. But I'm telling you this right now. Ryan Day's days are numbered if he doesn't win a Big Ten or a national championship. I think his days are numbered. Yeah, but the problem is that you got to keep Nico healthy and you got to have him be a little more consistent. Yeah. I think Ryan Day is a fraud. I'm just going to put that out there. With all due respect. I think he's a fraud. I think it disrespects the name of Jim Tressel and Urban Meyer. I was just about to say Urban. I think Ryan Day is soft. I think he can't handle high-stress games like a Michigan or an Oregon or... In Michigan this year's so fucking awful. You should be able to steamroll them. But Ryan Day will find a way to make that game more difficult to coach than it already is. And exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying, Gaming Rhino. He is great, but he's too soft and too weak against high-stake games. And yeah, how in the fuck do you play close against Nebraska? I'm telling you right now. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy when... Here's my theory. If Ryan Day doesn't win a Big Ten championship, he's out the door, and guess who's stepping in as head coach? After a season off of being a head coach. His offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly. Why do you think Chip Kelly decided to be an offensive coordinator all of a sudden for Ohio State? Left UCLA the UCLA coaching job for OC job at Ohio State. One, it's a better job. Two, you don't have to deal with the transfer portal and all that shit. Take some time off. And yeah, you'll have to beat Oregon. And I think y'all two are evenly matched. That's the thing. Y'all are the only two legit Big Ten teams, in my opinion, that could possibly win the national championship. And yeah, I think Chip Kelly is somewhat of a genius on the offensive side, but there's rumors of him stealing play calls, so I don't want to go too far into it because there's been accusations of him stealing play calls and all this other shit. But it's nothing that's illegal, you know. So can't really complain too much about it. Yeah, I was watching that game. I was like, this is an offensive shootout, you know, and I thought they were playing too soft on coverage. Not enough pressure on Dylan Gabriel. With Dylan Gabriel, okay, I'm going to say this right now. Dylan fucking Gabriel has to be... He's been playing for 7 seasons. I expect him to be perfect in college. I expect him to be perfect in college, but he's not. He is shitty. He needs to go bag my fucking groceries. That's enough about Dylan Gabriel. Great read option quarterback, but other than that, he's not that great of a quarterback. And you can agree with me on that one, Rhino. I'm telling you right now, he is not that great of a quarterback. And JMO, at some point, I'm going to give out my top 5 best teams, best coaches, best offenses, best defenses. No, he thinks he's fucking Marcus Mariota. That's who he thinks he is. And I'm talking about Oregon Marcus Mariota, not fucking Commanders Marcus Mariota. Where Arthur... Okay, I don't want to get too deep into it because that fucking Lorax motherfucker. Oh, if you missed last week's show, you need to watch it. Like, especially towards the end when we're talking about our NFL predictions. Oh my God, that was hilarious. And I would say A&M's Menzel was overrated too. Mike Evans made all the plays. It was just that Menzel was getting all the action, if you catch my drift. And when I say action, I mean media attention. Because he was doing the most insane plays that anybody has ever seen. I don't think he was that great, to be honest, man. Like, if I'm being serious right now, I don't think Menzel was that great. I think he was... I thought he was a good quarterback, but he would underthrow passes, and Mike Evans and Ryan Swope would have to make plays for him. And I want to like Menzel, but I just can't. I just cannot like Menzel. I would love to have him on here for an interview at some point, whenever we get bigger. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Like this stream because it's been my favorite stream so far, doing the talk box. Yeah. God rest his soul too. God rest his soul. He didn't. Dwayne Haskins deserved a lot more, in my opinion, but man, God rest his soul. He didn't. God, that sucked. It took the soul out of me. But anyways, we're killing time already. It's already 54 minutes. This is the longest talk box I've had since yeah, I'm pretty sure every football fan has, man. That was a young man, too. So Broncos at Chiefs. So me and J-Mo picked the Chiefs to win. Broncos gave them a good fight, and the Chiefs actually blocked a field goal to win the game. So the first true win, in my opinion, for Kansas City happened this past weekend. And there was a hot mic on Patrick Mahomes saying, can you let me know that the defender's coming around? I mean, I don't know how to take it. I really don't, because fuck it. I don't know. So we're going to move on to J-Mo's Steelers taking on the Commanders. Now, I picked the Commanders. He picked the Steelers. I actually had the score right, 28-27. But guess what? I had the wrong team. It was the Steelers that won 28-27. So, congrats to your Steelers, J-Mo. I know you're still on here. Shout out to J-Mo and his Steelers. Just wait, he's going to wear that Big Ben shirt again, or jersey again, because they're on tap next week. It's hate week for Pittsburgh because it's Baltimore. Everyone's favorite NFL team. Oh, God, don't even get me started with my fucking team. They're the most miserable fucking football team in all of fucking NFL. That's a pretty good combination, especially right now. But yeah, the fucking Cowboys are shitty too. Cowboys are so shit. But yeah, so the Steelers pick up a big win over the Commanders. Jerry Jones ain't going to go before I go. I'm telling you that right now. I was born the day after the fucking Cowboys won their last Super Bowl. The day after. Think about that for a sec. Think about the last time the Cowboys won their last Super Bowl, January 28, 1996. I was born the day after. January 29th, 1996. That has to be the most stressful thing I have to go through in my life. It's not bills. It's not anything from my actual job. It's not anything having to do with the PMP. It has to do with the fucking Cowboys finally winning a Super Bowl. I finally got to see the Texas Rangers win the World Series. But what about the Cowboys? Nah, we're going to hire Barry Switzer. And he'll win with Jimmy Johnson's hand-me-downs in Super Bowl 30. And then TJ Riddell will come out, born. And then we'll never win a Super Bowl. Because Jerry Jones, geriatric fuck Jerry, wants to make it all about him. And wants to sell merchandise instead of win games. Wants to pay quarterbacks $240 million before the season even starts. The day of the first game of the season. And he's not playing for the rest of the season due to a hamstring injury. I find that odd. I find that extremely odd, too. And also, Dak is horrible. Yeah, Dakota is so pussy. He is pussy. He's not soft. He's pussy. Pussy. Anyway, so moving on. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the 49ers. Man, the Bucs have been struggling. And me and J-Mo got this pick wrong. It was the 49ers that came out with the victory. Deebo shoved his fucking long snapper after telling Jake Moody to pick it up. after wearing a fucking mini skirt or dress or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. But, yeah. I think that, god damn, my allergies are kicking in. It's just a bad time for Tampa Bay right now to be losing, in my opinion, because the Falcons are starting to hit their stride up until this last game, obviously, and they're good. It's just they're riddled with injuries right now. It's honestly sad to watch because I actually like Baker as a quarterback. I do. And I think Brock Purdy is just average. Oh, I agree. It's a hard schedule as far as NFL is concerned. But moving on to the last game of the NFL recap. We only do 4 games of NFL because NFL is boring. And NFL stands for not for long. So we're doing not for long picks. The Detroit Lions traveled to the Houston Texans, and I gotta tell you, the Detroit Lions are for real. Yeah, this game. Yeah, I agree. Laramie Tunsil needs to go for sure. Hashtag save Shroud. There we go. All right. So I didn't really watch this game too. I just saw the score, and my buddy Brett, God bless him. Shout out to my boy Brett. He was on fire. Stroud was on fire in the first half. And my boy Brett was hyped up. He said, "Oh, we're winning this fucking game." But it turned out it was a history repeats itself type of moment for the Houston Texans. Second half, they overplayed. In the first half, second half, they were gassed out. Look, the play calling's awful for Houston. I feel so sorry for C.J. Stroud. He blamed himself for throwing a turnover, or throwing an interception in the red zone. But here's the deal: C.J. Stroud's a damn good quarterback. And there's frustration within that Houston team because they're better than this. D'Amico knows this. He's a damn good coach. But when you're up by 23 and you lose 26-23, there's something wrong. There has to be something wrong with that organization. And I'm not necessarily saying front office. I'm talking about yeah, I agree. Because there's no way you're going to tell me. You're not going to tell me, okay? Oh, by the way, I'm playing college football 25. For those that don't know, I was talking about it earlier. There's no way you can't lose a game where Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions. There's just no way. There is absolutely no way you should be able to lose that game. And almost throwing 7 interceptions in that game. I don't know what to say about that, but for the Lions' sake, they have to be the most resilient football team in the NFL. The most resilient team in the NFL. Now, I'm going to say the same thing that I said about college football. There is no clear-cut best team in the NFL as of right now. I don't know what it is about this Lions team, but I love watching them play. I do. I just couldn't watch them yesterday because, honestly, I was tired. I've been tired. I haven't gotten a lot of good sleep lately. But anyway, I love Dan Campbell as a coach. As a Vikings fan, they need to stop. But on a serious note, I love me some Dan Campbell. And I love this football team. As a football fan, I love what's going on in Detroit. It's been a long fucking time since Detroit had a consistently good football team that could bounce back from situations like that. And I think the Lions are the ones to beat the Chiefs this season on the NFC side. Man, I don't really like to say that necessarily, Rhino, that the refs are causing games, but holy shit, there's a lot of fucking questionable shit going on with the Chiefs. It's just it may be coincidence, but it's also what in the fuck is going on here? Because you can't tell me they're fucking a true 9-0 team. And you're absolutely right. They could easily have been 2-7. They could have easily, like, Patrick Mahomes right now is playing his worst season. He's looking like his old self at Texas Tech. He could throw for many touchdowns, but he can also throw for many interceptions. He was a Jameis Winston before he got a hold of Andy Reid and Alex Smith. And he's not. He's not even close. Simulation. You know he's a part of the 99 club, right? They made him a 99 clubber. It's crazy. He thinks he's Winston. And that's crazy to me. T-Law is playing better than Mahomes, and T-Law's looked horrible. I'm sorry. But NFL quarterback play is at an all-time low. Quarterback play in general is at an all-time low. It's bad to watch. The NFL product is bad to watch. I could sit here and tell you, it is hard for me to watch NFL. College, that's a whole different ball game. I can watch every college football game that I can. I can watch every college football game that I could get my hands on. NFL, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. And I don't even think the defenses are reigning supreme. I really don't. Especially whenever it's offensive favored. The game is offensively favored and they're scoring less points. How does that work? It's definitely bad coaching, bad quarterback play, and bad overall offensive play. See, if Dan Marino and I would say at his time the 84 Dolphins, for example, I don't fucking know. If they were to play in this league where his offense was heavily favored to get yards. I bet you they have over fucking 400 yards passing, 200 yards rushing. So that's 600 yards right there, total offense. And their defense is the best defense in the NFL in this era. Oh, God. Yeah. That's fucking crazy that you would say that. Colgate versus Chattanooga? Holy fuck. That's crazy. What's going on here? That was weird. Am I back on? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Am I good now? Can you is it still bugging or is it bad or I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm trying to interact with you guys and doing the show at the same time. Alright, you can hear me loud and clear. Does the stream look good? Do I look good? Does my Chrome Dome look good? Okay, good. Awesome. I'm trying to be like my celebrity dad, Matthew McConaughey, but at the same time, I'm trying to look like Brad Pitt, but that's not happening. Aw, thanks, man. Stop trying to butter me up. But anyway, great show tonight. Wanted to get all what I needed to get out. Deebo Samuel was wearing a mini dress. The Quinn Ewers slander has to stop. And stop saying that Arch Manning deserves the starting spot over Quinn Ewers. That just sounds fucking casual as fuck. Went over the two biggest upsets, Miami and Georgia. And then got to talk a little bit about the not for long or no fun allowed or no fun league. There we go. Thank you guys for interacting with me. This has been the most interaction I've had since doing the talk boxes or reintroducing the talk boxes, but with the phone now. Tune in, I want to say Thursday. Either Wednesday, no, Thursday. So I'll get a hold of JMO, and Thursday we'll be doing our podcast. It is going to be the prediction show, and I will have him do the chats. I will have him read the chats to me, and I'll respond to you guys. I want to do more talk boxes like this to where I could start talking to you guys a lot more. I like talking to you guys. I really do. Yeah, Thursday's going to be a fun show. We're going to have predictions. Texas and Arkansas is going to be fucking crazy. And I appreciate that. Yeah, turn on notifications. Subscribe. And right now, I'm not going to ask for money because that's not what I do. Just enjoy the show. Enjoy my presence. Presence of a football guru. Right now, I'm kind of down on my luck as far as making predictions. But I'll be back. It's that time of the year where I start kicking it into high gear. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys coming on here and actually chatting on here. We ended up with, or we started with trolls, but ended up getting really good viewers on here that really appreciate this and appreciate this type of content. Now, I'll badmouth a motherfucker real quick, but we're just fans that want to talk. Barbershop talk. Real recognizes real. And happy Veterans Day to my comrades, to my friends, to anybody that has or is serving right now. Happy Veterans Day. This has been TJ's Talk Box. Tune into the Pigskin Mafia podcast live stream on both YouTube and Twitch this Thursday And then next week we'll do the talk box on Monday. And then the week 13, week 12 prediction on Tuesday. But thank you guys for watching. This has been real. This has been a fun show. And y'all have been awesome. And yes, God bless America and our troops. Donald J. Trump's back in office. Not until January 20th, though. But thank you guys for watching. It's been 75 minutes of great content, great rants, and great yelling at commenters that don't know football. But these two gentlemen were very respectful and polite. The only ones commenting, by the way. And then you got my producer on there, JMO. Absolutely killing it behind the scenes and crushing it. But tune in. First time voter, congratulations, by the way. I'm actually 2-1 in voting. Yeah, JMO is a G, my friend. He's a bad motherfucker. So, yes. See you next time. Goodbye. Mwah. Good night. Bang. Good night. Happy Veterans Day.